Yo, 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 what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another evening with the brothers, the podcast, up and coming, the Three Headed Monster podcast. I'm brother Brian, got my brother Jerome here. We're really not really supposed to be talking to each other because he's a Cowboy fan and we play this weekend. So,
On the truce.
ain't no truce. It just this is business. So, again, this is a Three Headed Monster podcast. We're a podcast that just, again, we give our truth. We just give you our opinions, but at the same time, we talk about a little bit of everything. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, comment. Please comment. But also, if y'all got anything y'all want to talk about, let's, bring it up and we can research and see what we can come up with. But it's been a lot going on since we've been gone. Boy, we've been gone for a minute. About a month.
Like
a month. But a lot has happened in this world. But I'm not gonna jump too much into it. I'm gonna let Jerome do his. I love the way he does it. He's so elegant when he says the words that he does.
What's up, Facebook family, YouTube family? I hope everybody is well. Please, whatever platform that you're on, please subscribe, hit the like button, share. Let's get everybody in on this discussion. And as always, everything that we say is our opinions. Please do not believe anything that we tell you. Do research. Find out for yourself. Come back and let's build. Let's politic. What's up, B?
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? Yeah, like I said, it's been a lot of mess. That's negative. That really affects the family, the community, the tribe. You can sort of say, and it makes you just sit back and wonder, and just what do we do? Where do we go? Or is this we are people. For one, what we're talking about is the whole crab in the barrel mentality and mindset, and we play so far in it because we play victim to it. In other words, we use it as this is we've been going through this and we've been fighting, but a lot of y'all haven't fought for anything. A lot of y'all haven't, we just happen to use the circumstances that we in as a crutch, so to say. Because I can say I was one that would actually do it also. So it gets to a point now when you start looking at things is what can I do to stay out of it? Or what can I do to change my surroundings and change everything that goes on? Because it starts with your mind. It starts with your mind no matter what. And if your mind is not there, if your mind is, because we got so much hate towards us. First, we got to start loving ourselves. We hate ourselves so much that it is you. That's you or your worst enemy when it comes to this. And sometimes we tend to not try to find out you know, or try to fix the problem, so to say. We just tend to just, it is what it is. This is what I can do, and this I'm not can't do anything better.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this?
I see where you're going.
So I think the question is what do we do, or what can we um what's the word I'm looking for? What can we again, it's the people you're around.
Right.
Because I could say one thing as being around Jerome, knowing that Jerome, when I had a question about something that I just didn't feel right with me, I called my brother and I was like, Jerome, I got a question. Actually, the thing about it is, I called Jerome and said, Jerome, I ain't seen you in church in a minute, and it just dawned on me because it ain't like I was still going to church. It just the
Right.
fact is, something just like ask Jerome why, because it was things that it was bothering me that I saw in the church that I wasn't satisfied, that made me really start looking into it because it's a lot. Sometimes we fight ourselves not understanding because it's something that we've been taught, and maybe our history, our past history, is something that we not learning from. Can I say that? Am I
Yeah,
right?
you can say it.
Because if we don't learn from the past, we're gonna repeat. And basically what we're doing is we're gonna repeat it. We're gonna repeat our past again. In other words, we're not pass and go to the next level. We want to sit
Right.
here and fight and fuss, and you know we want to keep pulling ourselves down. The enemy
Right.
sitting there, just they kind of laughing, but at the same time they're in so much fear. But they will make you defeat yourself. See what I'm saying?
They play a big part.
So you tell me what you think, Jerome. Talk to me.
All right. I was just pushing a few buttons. I think with what you said a lot first. Um, it's a lot to unpack, right?
Hmm.
Um, I look at it from the standpoint the mind controls everything.
Facts.
You know, whether you're thinking or whether you're not, it controls everything. So anyone that oppresses you, the first thing that they want to oppress is not your environment. They don't want to oppress your food supply. They want to do the oppression or the the part of your mind that controls every thought, every subconscious, every uh, non-thought. You know, that's the thing that they want to control first. So it's crazy because the state that we're in is all mental. You know, physically we're not held anywhere. Physically we're not we can move anywhere in the United States. We can move anywhere in the world, but physically. But it's the mental barriers that hadn't been brought down. It's that's I think that's the biggest part of when I look at our people, it's just how mentally behind we are. And I'm not
Yes.
talking about the standpoint of intellect, but that's not. It's different because I know a lot of smart people that believe dumb stuff. That makes sense.
Ooh.
So uh, we don't understand how repetition. I mean, it changes our mind. We don't understand things that we don't like. If we just repetitively over and over and over again, it changes how we view things. Even if we don't like it, can't stand it, we begin to tolerate it. And once you begin to tolerate something, you start to allow things into your mind.
Facts.
So I do, I agree with you 100% about um, it's a mental challenge for our people. Uh, if you, well, I don't know if you want to get into the crabs in the bucket already, but uh, it's just wherever you want to go, bro. We'll flow tonight.
No, 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 because it is a crab in a it.
It's one of the buckets.
Yeah, it is a bucket because I
Right.
mean, let's throw some buckets out there.
All right.
All right, history is a bucket. Not
Woo.
knowing the true history of what goes on of the
That's an
past.
extremely large bucket. That has
Uh,
that bucket has black people, white people, those that claim to be Hispanic, uh, whatever nationality. That whole everybody's thrown into that bucket.
all right, so we got that bucket. Um, then we have white supremacy bucket, which is
Mm,
another bucket. But I
mm.
mean,
I,
it's a
I I get
bucket
what you're
because
saying.
it goes part with history. Also, it goes with history. We have religion
Mm.
is another bucket. Um, shit.
Well,
Food,
I mean,
mental. I mean, actually, health,
yeah,
proper
mental
food,
health.
health. If we don't, is this understanding the spiritual warfare is one of the biggest ones, and that we don't understand, and it's been used against us the whole time, not knowing what are we praising or what are we worshiping. Hey, Jerome, I need you to go to your Facebook and turn it from only you to public,
All right,
the live. So
all right,
um financial financial health is a humongous bucket, barrel bucket, whatever you want to call it.
right.
So it's so many avenues that we can say. History is one that really, really, to me, and I know to me and you, is something that we know is a bucket that if you know who you are, if you know about your past,
Yeah,
oh yeah, my man Eddie Moore said family. Yeah, yeah, family.
yeah.
Oh
Family is
God,
definitely,
damn.
but
God, that bucket right there is. But that goes back to the understanding who you are as a person, as a people. We don't know. We fighting. Who tells you who you are? Who tells you your history? Nobody never questions that. Nobody never questioned the whole slavery movement. Nobody questioned like all of a sudden we a bunch of like I want people to really sit back and think about it. You cannot bring nobody to this country and all of a sudden they know the land. Period. You
right,
don't. It can't happen. You can't come to another land and you know the land and you're gonna teach somebody else how to work that land that you just came on. It's not
right.
gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You can't do it. But
So,
if I could tell you, you came here, you survived on a boat versus your people was already here and they just happened to be prisoners of war. So we'll turn around and you'll stop looking at Indians in a different mindset. It's like we are the Indians,
Right. Well, I mean, and that's just and that in itself is just a word, right? Indian,
indigenous
because
people. All right, don't say
right,
Indians, indigenous people.
because if you look at the wordplay for melanated people that's been in this country, you look at go back to Virginia, take one state, and look at how many times in the 16, 17, 1800s the melanated people name were changed. Went from Indian to black to colored to black to colored, back to Indian, back to colored, back to black. But you know what's interesting, if you look at the laws, they never called you Africans at no point. Africans were always distinctive. They were always distinctive from Indians. They were always distinctive from blacks. You had blacks and you had Indians at the same time. You had colors and you had black Africans at the same time. So I think a lot of miseducation. We've had a lot of miseducation. Uh, yeah. We'll go ahead and get into that because I see where you want to lean to, and so I lean in with you. I lean in with you.
I'm
You
trying to
want
make it seem like I'm.
nah. I keep you said it 3 times about spiritual warfare. You said religion. So let's go on, open it up. Let's
I
go and
mean,
say what you want to say.
I wasn't out there for you to, jump in it, but
Yeah, go on, say
yeah.
what you want to say, B.
No, because have we ever thought about the fear of our parents, our grandparents, just because of what happened in this whole slavery movement, the fear, Jim Crow, after the Reconstruction for one is something that we got we have did an episode of the Reconstruction. I think we
Right.
might need to go back into it and really dive deep into it because it changed. That Reconstruction period
Yeah.
is where we at now because of the changes that went forth during that period of time. So now
Right.
we have to look at it as okay, religion. We look at the thing because what most people go through is whatever's in the Bible is it. No question. Don't say nothing. Don't do nothing. Don't
Right.
say nothing. Don't question. It is what it is. True.
Right.
But nobody never questions anything about it because go back and look at it. Look at the region. Look at everything in that region, and nobody never questions it. Like,
Like what? What are you talking about?
is it true or not true? Who made it
The
up? How is it
Bible?
that it became? How is it that it became the blockbuster hit that it is now? That it rules the country. I mean, I learned that in history. I studied that in history class, studying world history, how the church ran the country.
Yeah.
But
They
then at the
ran the
same
world.
time,
They ran. Some people think they still do run
they still do.
the world.
They still do. Come on, they still do. I don't even know why would you
So
say that. I'm just trying to find
can I
out why
say
your
what?
Facebook messages is not coming through.
I just got one come through. You talking about on the Facebook side?
Let me check. Yeah, none of them coming through.
I got one coming through.
I mean, it's not coming through on the big screen. That's what I was saying. They
Oh,
might
okay,
have.
okay. I got you. So,
So
so when you say the marketing of it, is that what you're saying? Our marketing campaign has been so good.
Yeah. Oh, now it just popped up. Okay. It's how you say is allegories after allegories. True.
Right. A lot of them. And a lot of poetry, but yeah.
But
Poetry, allegories.
we use it as whatever is said and not understanding what's being said.
Right.
Oh, what's going on, brother Wathrow? What's up, Mr. Rico Williams? Uh, is it creates fear.
Of course.
It,
Fear
it creates
control.
a ton of fear that you change your life because of fear, which that means you're not being you.
Of course.
And when people rebel against it or people run away from it out of fear, you probably gonna go do something stupid just because you've been strong. This stronghold has been on you, and you feel like once you free, I'm free to do some of the craziest stuff. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, and not understanding what the universe is really trying to tell you spiritually. For one,
Right.
you're not listening to your inner self that's constantly talking to you. But we've been told that don't listen to it, or
You know what?
family will turn against you because of this.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at how you've been controlled, right? You've
Yeah.
been told that there's a higher power, something that's higher than you, something that's
Hmm.
greater than you, something that's more intelligent than you. You are the creation of this thing, and it has made you perfect, right? But then, in the same sense, you're nothing. You're sinful. You know, there's no thought that you could have that could be great, right? It's
Mm.
all this double talk. So it creates this schism inside of your mind. You think you're born to be great, but your life tells you you're not. You know, everything around you tells you you're not. And so when your environment, that's what I was talking about, repetitiveness. So if you repeat how terrible you are, how sinful you are, how your nature is sinful, your flesh is sinful, on, and you start to believe that.
Because you're
And
beating yourself up.
yeah, because self deprivation is something that especially Black people are good at. We always tear ourselves down. We always have this self destruction mode built inside of us. If it seems like things are going too good, you start to feel like something bad has to happen, but you don't really
Dude, that is
understand it.
crazy though.
But you don't, yeah. I mean, that's all psychology, though. It's been taught to you by things that you wouldn't even think of. Like, okay, take for example when you're watching TV, right?
Mm.
And you see all these good things happening. Do you ever see Black people doing them?
They try to fix it in there. They try to
No, I'm
force it
talking
in
about over the time of when you were being programmed as a child.
there. Hell no.
Okay, what Black heroes did you have as a child? So what did you aspire to be as a child?
The brown hornet off of Fat Albert.
Yeah. And so see that's the things I'm telling you about how the mind, because sometimes the absence of things creates something in your mind. If the absence of a Black hero, in essence, when you're watching this white Superman all the time and never see a Black superhero, you think Black people can't be heroes. You think Black people can't be super. So inherently, you think you can't be. And see, it's subtle is what you leave out that has more powerful than what's left in. So when you were in history class and they were talking to you about these great civilizations, right?
Mhm.
And they said the Carthaginians, I said they were such a great and powerful nation. on the, and they would say on the coast of the Mediterranean, leaving out North Africa. They say on the coast of the Mediterranean. And then they said Hannibal comes out of this Carthaginian civilization. It's the greatest military genius to ever hit the earth. Now, if I just said that in class to a bunch of little kids, automatically, guess what they would think? Hannibal was white. And I didn't have to mention color. But because of the absence of heroes that are black, because of the absence of greatness that is black, you assume everything is white. So they don't have to really lie to you. All they have to do is tell you history and don't tell you color. You'll assume that it's white. And so you'll know all these historical facts and not know that it was your people.
I mean, because I learned from you. It is funny. I learned from you, especially when it came to the early Romans,
Right.
and the history behind that. And a lot of us get mixed up understanding that mindset. History
Right.
is so important that, like for instance, we grew up thinking a Lone Ranger was Caucasian. Actually, he was
Right.
about a bad guy.
But that's how they portrayed him, though.
But it's not really to today. Look at today. And to everybody, we're sorry we didn't come on Monday for Happy Indigenous Day. Um, was it Indigenous Day? Yeah, it was. Yeah, Christopher Columbus BS. Uh, Trust me, I think we done did like 2 podcasts on that dude,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
back to the subject at hand. We look at things because what I mean when I say things, are we as parents hurting our kids by telling them or teaching them what we was taught? It's like hand me down, hand me down, hand me down, hand me down, until somebody's like, "Yo, that don't really make no sense." But we have. Do we raise our kids in fear because
Yes.
of the outside surroundings?
Of
So,
course.
are we one of the biggest crabs? Are we one of the biggest barrels
Yes.
to our
Now
future?
I'm
But go
gonna
ahead.
get right to that. But I gotta unpack something you say. You throw all these things out here, but you don't enlighten the people.
I
So
need you
you
to break it down.
so you
I throw the
so you
alley you grab it and you dunk it. That's what I'm
but you,
doing. I'm setting it up.
but you mentioned the Lone Ranger, and you didn't
Yeah.
say that character was derived from Bass Reeves.
Oh, I mean, I didn't throw all that in there, but I mean,
Oh, okay. Well, he
I'm
was a black
sorry.
man. He was actually a U.S. Marshal uh, that was in the Oklahoma territory. Brother Wathrow, I'm sure he has a lot of stories about him. Uh, Apparently, during the 1800s, he rounded up like 3,000 of the most cowboy word honorous or ornery uh, people out there. He was a bad man. And the interesting thing about the Lone Ranger, he had his sidekick, right?
Hmm.
Tonto, right?
Yeah.
Tonto was the Indian, but actually that was Lone Ranger and Tonto was Bass Reeves split in half because Bass Reeves, yeah, Bass
He
Reeves was
was a loner.
actually
He was a
he was
loner.
actually Creek. He spoke Creek. He spoke the Creek language. He was Creek. You see what I'm saying? So they made
Hmm.
the Lone Ranger into two characters. It was actually one man.
Ooh. See, I can't break all that down. That's why I got you. That's why it's a team sport.
And also, so so I do want to get to that barrel that you were talking about. Um, you mentioned the word white supremacy earlier. Oh, if you don't mind, you see what Eddie Moore is talking about inventions? Could you put that on there?
Yeah,
And
that is true.
so, yeah,
Go ahead.
I mean, it's true. But here's the thing with that: it's because we were oppressed in this nation, right? And that we wasn't given our rights, our proper rights. Um, when the patent office began giving out patents, it was illegal for Black people to own a patent. So you had all these great inventions, but somebody of a lesser melanated skin tone would tell them, "Well, just give me the patent. I'll patent it for you, and we'll split the money." And you see how that happened. You see how that worked. But it was illegal for Black people to own patents when the patent office first opened. So you have a lot of sharecroppers that worked on farms for, and these men would take the inventions that these guys would use to make life, easier, more convenient, more efficient. And they would take these inventions and they would patent them and take the money.
Because they own the system.
Right. Of course. Those who hold the gold make the rules.
Walter about to get you, man.
What he said, I can't. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We talked about that was one of the questions. How did the crabs get in the bucket? Um, and like I said, for me, it's theory. I don't know exactly. I may not be old enough to even speak on that.
Oh, but
Hey, yeah,
he
and I,
also wanted you to know this too.
yeah, 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 yeah. And that's a native, but we were talking about Indians and what we call true Indians, because he did speak the language. You know, but but and then I do agree with that, but there's some words, man, that is like oxymorons, right? When you
Hmm.
say whiteness, when you say black power, if you will, those words are like oxymorons, really. White supremacy, supreme power.
Hmm.
Because for me, I'm like this. If somebody is supreme or superior to you, then they don't have to keep trying to prove it. You don't have to prove that you're superior. You don't have to prove the inferiority of the next person to prove that you're superior. If you're superior, it kind of sticks out. It's kind of like Usain Bolt lining up and me and him racing. It's not really going to be hard to tell who's the superior athlete. We don't have to talk, just take off running. You'll see in a matter of a few seconds who's superior and who's not. So for a group to claim that they are superior, but they have to use hate tactics, they have to use scare tactics, um, they have to use all these things to prove the superiority. In itself tells you the truth.
So that's why you see so much craziness today. They're losing their grip. So they have to keep trying to push fear, push fear, push fear.
Mm,
I gotta get you scared. I gotta get you not being who you normally be.
right.
Mr. Rico Williams put out something, put a
What
big
is
one
that?
out there.
True. True. It's all based on fear. Fear is the thing that holds you. You said something very interesting, right?
I'm always saying something that you say I'm interested.
It is B. You think you
I don't think
the alley
I
oop
just
man.
keep going. I just
You think you the
put
alley
it in
oop
a
man, but
paragraph and I want you to go find it.
look, you be crossing people over though. you,
What else did I
you
say?
you'll throw that smooth crossover on them and keep going. You said that they were losing their grip, right?
True. Yes.
Now, listen to that though. See, here's the thing, and that's what I always say about there's a difference between strength and power. And people think that they're losing power, right? Oh, they're
Hmm.
losing power. No, power has to be given. Like if you're a smaller person and I'm 6'3", right? And so I go to a smaller man and I try to intimidate him. Now, if he bows down to me, he's giving me his power. You see? But if he bucks at me and we want to tussle, I can be stronger than him. I have strength, but he still has his power. And see, that's the thing. As a people, we don't understand the difference between strength and power. We talk about the power that we lose, the power that we're trying to gain,
Hmm.
and we don't understand the strength that we already have. And if we came together and used the strength that we already
Oh,
have, then we could overcome a lot of these mental hurdles that you think you have. Because that bucket is make believe. It's in your head.
did you say it's misbelief?
It's make believe. It's not real. It's in your head.
Jerome, God damn it, you. I'm glad we on YouTube. Um, what I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
But for you to
Talk to
come,
me. Talk to me.
no, because this is something that it's like I want to make a time machine so I can go back in time and try to find out how can a small group of people literally take over a country.
Hit the like button, everybody. We're gonna get into that because very simply,
I
you're
just want to hear
used to
your
the
opinion on
day.
it.
Huh?
I'm
Yeah,
doing.
it's my opinion.
I'm asking you a question. I just want to hear your thought. I actually want Mr. Wathrow to
Yeah,
jump in
yeah,
on this one too.
yeah.
Actually, send him the link if you can.
Okay, yeah, no doubt.
I,
But
I, I need to hear. I need to hear the aspect of how this this whole thing is going because it's kind of crazy when we see this um this barrel. It's kind of like who created it. Oh, Mr. Wathrow. Oh, I tell you, man, Mr. Wathrow be doing it, man.
yeah, and that's what I'm talking about though. Um, that's what I'm talking about. Power is an illusion. Power is what you have to give over power. You have to submit to somebody. That's what giving up power. They don't have strength over you. We have too many numbers for you to have
Ooh,
strength over.
oh, wait, what? No,
You
that
see
is
what I'm
not what
saying?
the census say. The census say. And I think that's why we keep looking at it. There's no way in hell we're what 13%.
Right. And it's been
No,
13% for 200 years. Really? But they keep telling you having all these black babies, babies mamas, babies mamas, babies mamas. All
all right.
babies mamas.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go in. I'm about to change it up, and I'm about to go crazy. All
Do
right,
what
man.
you do.
Mr. Walker, keep dropping something. He said, what did he say? People who look like you is who brought up the bucket. Oh, there it is. And that's and that's the point I was saying. Have our grandparents and great grandparents created a bucket for us to sit in and then give us the key to get out of that bucket, or the bus
A
open that
huge
bucket.
man, listen, a huge bucket. Huge bucket. And it's not that it was intentional by them. They just didn't understand the psychology of it. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Uh, whether real or not, there's a book called, and when I say real or not, I'm talking about whether it was a process that was used. There's a book called The Making of a Slave.
Hmm.
And if you read this book, all it is just how through psychology
Hmm.
you can create slaves, and these slaves would teach their children to be slaves, and
Ooh.
that's the whole mindset. Because think about most of the information that you get disseminated down to you doesn't really come from school. It comes from the people that you're around.
The neighborhood, the
Right,
people,
your
the
neighborhood, your
precepts.
family, you know. So if you can keep a community covered up from the truth, then they have no choice but to teach their children what they know. You see what I'm saying? That's why
Oh, 100%.
that's why if you go to a black family and start talking about generational wealth, they have no idea what you're talking about.
Or even try to get to that point of understanding it or be a part of it. It's
It's just
kind of
like,
like,
and I know I'm jumping all over the place, but it's just like with our
nah, that's
people.
what we do. That's what we do. We get back
It's
to
like with our people, you don't know the difference between heritage and culture.
it. Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? You don't know the difference between what brother Walter, he said, hold up. He got something. What he got? What he got? You getting on?
I don't know. I thought let's get on and let's get it.
Let's get it.
But keep
So
going, keep going.
so we don't know the difference between heritage and culture, right? That's
Hmm.
why that's why most of us now are living in this subculture and thinking this is how we live, this is us. And it's not. We got so many subcultures of who we truly were. And we're not operating in who we were. You talked about earlier, you said if you don't understand your history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah, we're
Well,
gonna keep
I'm saying,
repeating it.
right. But I'm saying if you knew your history, I'd love to really repeat it because that's when you had greatness.
All right. My bad. When you, yeah,
No,
it
you're
depends
right
on
with
how
what you're
far you
saying
go back.
because you're talking about recent history.
Yeah,
I'm talking
recent
I'm
history,
talking about like deep history.
legacy history.
Repeat that. That would be awesome.
Understanding who you are, understanding the spiritual being that you are, understanding your true language, your true way of communicating, your true way of. I feel like we adopted I think we just adopted another culture that it doesn't it doesn't work well for us,
We did. I
and
want
we
to
can't
answer
let it go. We just let it run us. It literally runs us to death.
right. I want to answer Brother Wathrow.
Which one? Which
He
one?
said,
Which
"Whose
one?
concept of wealth are you using?"
Uh oh.
Right. And that's true. Well, he's got back on there, but that's true. I was going to answer that and say, see, when I talk about generational wealth, I'm talking about information down from the ancestors. I mean, as far as health, as far as family, as far as community, as far as building, as far as growing. That's the wealth. That generational wealth is passed down because now we pass down is diabetes, high blood pressure, how to rent houses, um,
Ooh, boy, did you not hit
you
us
know,
with the?
how to not operate properly in debt. These are the things that we pass down. Exactly, your family should be your wealth, and that's what I'm talking about. That's the generational wealth passing down
Wait
health.
a minute, hold up. Our family should be our wealth. That's if everybody with the same mindset.
But that's the whole point, right? Is that mindset was disrupted. That
That mindset to
mindset,
the fact is we are our own crabs fighting to be the top family
yeah,
member.
yeah. We,
That's
you know,
that right there alone is a barrel that you
oh
have
yeah,
to.
yeah.
First of all, you have to overcome. That's a barrel. Once you overcome you fighting yourself, now you have to start fighting your family. And it just once you keep beating these odds, yes, the tasks get bigger, but at the same time, I mean, do you want to invest in your family? I would love to. Would I trust it? No. Why? Because I see them in, nobody's on the same page. If everybody's on the same page, man, you
But you
everything
talking
is
about,
solved.
let me put a pin right there.
You said put a pin?
Yeah, I got to put a pin right there because I got to come back to it. I told you be crossing people up, but so so
I put too many things in that one? Come on.
no, 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 no. When you started going all the way in on family, I got something
Mhm.
for that for our people. But well, I might as well go into it. So unity, right?
Yes.
Because that's what you want inside the family is unity, right?
Hmm.
But see, I'm here to tell you that no time in human history have all black people ever been on the same page. Never. There's never been black unity and as a monolith, as a singular thing, you know, because even inside the United States, um, we were different tribes, right? So we
True.
had this tribal attitude. Now there's a difference between being united and the word that I want to use now is like a cooperation. What we should have now is not unity because it's hard to get everybody on the same page, but cooperation between all the tribes that can work. You know, this agreement that works for everybody. If that makes sense to you. I don't know if you're still on here, D. Yo, you still on here?
Yes.
Okay, so like I said, you know, because it's just like Brother Wathrow is saying about wealth, right? Everybody doesn't see wealth as the same thing. Everybody doesn't see unity as the same thing. Everybody doesn't see power as the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So since everybody has a different view, we have to learn how to cooperate and work with each other, if that makes sense.
True. But if you can get one or two or get three, you probably can win over the rest of the family. If they see, some people say, I want to see it work for you first and then I'll try it. But if I don't see it work for you, I ain't being a part of it. So, for
See
instance,
that's why that's trust, right? You talking about trust. The
say for
trust and
instance, no, say for instance, me and you, we go
yeah,
buy us what 100 acres
yeah.
and say, yo, this is our family. We as a family have to work this land. We as ourselves got to build this community. How many people gonna be on board and say, yeah? Let's keep it real. How many people
Oh,
I know in my
it's
family?
not gonna be many.
I have a few, but they gonna be like, okay, is this my land? Is it mine? If I could do whatever I want to do
Okay.
with it, and it's kind of like we building it together.
Yeah,
Me and
that's
you
the
might
thought.
be on the same page.
Yeah,
This,
yeah, yeah. That's the thought. Well, see, here's the thing. I
mm-hmm,
think this is what hurts us as a community, right?
mm-hmm,
Um, we can come together and get an answer, right?
mm-hmm.
Like I can present you with the answer, but if you don't understand how I arrived at that answer, you're not gonna trust it.
Oh, kind of like if you do algebra, they say, I need you to fill out, I need to see it, all that
See,
you did.
I need to see your math. See,
I
let
need
me
to see
see
your
how you
math
worked it
over.
out.
You just
And
came up with
see,
the answer because I need to know if you cheated or not.
right. And see, that's exactly right. See, the most important thing that I always say is not knowing that we have a problem. I mean, we're adults. We should know that there's a problem. The system is broken and I'm talking about within inside of us, right?
Mhm.
So if you cannot articulate the problem, you never gonna trust any answer that's given to you because you don't even know how to articulate the problem. You can't, you can't, like word problems.
Mhm.
You can't write it down properly.
Comprehension is not
You
good.
know, huh?
The comprehension is not good. Your comprehension
Right.
skills is lacking. And I
But
think
see,
that's where it goes to
right.
me not having you to read, understanding read. And it's kind of like if your comprehension skills is not there, you would never understand nothing. You just follow, you'll become a follower. We have become that. We have become to the fact is we don't fight for what we need. Because think about it. If our people didn't know English, but they wanted to learn English, they wanted to read it, they wanted to read and understand what the hell is going on, but they fought for us not to know. Yo, you get killed if you read. This is just what they say. This is what you hear. To the fact is, if we came out of slavery, 1865, by 1869, 1870, we already got people in the Senate. We got people in Congress. It's kind of more of a sense of we can show we adapt to everything that happens around us. We just keep adapting. We have lost how to adapt, and now we just adjust. Not to say adjust, we just take it for what it is. I'm trying to find the right word because I mean, we have watched our people adapt time after time. To the fact is, we don't evolve. We don't evolve from that. We just keep adapting, adapting, adapting. Now understanding that this is a cycle that we're going to continue going through and not get out of because we're not trying to evolve. We just keep trying to adapt to the changes that somebody else is placing on top of us. You feel me?
I got what you're saying.
Or
Now,
did I
let me
just
go
put too
ahead.
much? Did I do it again?
No,
Did I
no,
just put
no,
too
no. That was
much?
good.
You sure?
So let me get in. Let me get in with you. So
Okay.
here's my thing. Evolution is a theory.
Mhm.
Always been, always been a theory. Will continue to be a theory. Adaptation is real. We adapt every day. But see, here's my thing: is that even with what you said, you still follow of what you were taught about slavery, right?
Mhm.
The
I was just
narrative.
using it as an example.
But no, no, let me make my point. I ain't coming at you. I'm just
Okay.
building upon you.
Okay.
So, so our people, there's no way that slavery could end, and 1 year later we were senators, doctors, engineers, if we wasn't already those things.
I was trying to get to that point, but I didn't.
So here's the
That's
thing. This is
good.
where we've been confused because the English language is where that's where we get confused about things, right? Is because the English language is a slave language. It was that language was spoken in Europe by those who would come to first try to do business, but then to oppress us, right? Who colonized us, right? Who got us believing into their system. and then
Mm-hmm.
this system overwhelmed us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of time why our history is lost because our history was spoken in our language. Anything that you keep that's personal, anything that you keep that's secret, anything that you keep that has value, you put in a safe, right?
True.
And the safe is only open by the combination that you use to open the safe. So the combination is our language. The combination is our heritage. The combination is our culture. And until we can get back to those original things, we can never unlock the safe that holds all our valuables. That
I,
makes
I,
sense.
yeah, Brother Watho just threw something at me, and he don't
Okay.
know the curveball he threw, and I'm about to hit it. A person cannot be elected office without owning land at the time.
True.
That should tell you, just that statement alone should tell you, if we had elected officials in Congress and in the Senate, who the hell owned the land?
We did.
It ain't the fact
Listen,
that we it ain't
listen.
the fact that we just happened to just buy it. We always had it.
Listen, let me make it clear.
Go
Because
ahead, Jordan.
a lot of people don't know this, don't understand this. We were the landowners, right?
True.
We had plantations. We
Mhm.
had slaves. But it wasn't until the late 1800s when they knew that if they let everything go, that the country would not be theirs, is when they started the immigration laws and they started bringing people from Europe. And when they started bringing people from Europe, they started. This is when you start to see now these Indian removal acts. You see them give the government taking people's land and giving it to other people. That's when they started imposing all these sanctions upon our people who
On our
were
own land.
already the landowners. The land was taken in and given away millions of acres at a time.
So it was stolen.
Yes, it was stolen.
So basically, United States is a bunch of squatters. Well, you said my timeline is off a little bit. Ooh, I think, yeah, Facebook. I think us going live and us on Facebook. I think Facebook is lagging like about 5 to 6 seconds, maybe 10 seconds.
No, no, no.
So
He's talking about when I started talking about immigration in the 1800s. That's what he's talking about. If
Brother
he's
Walker,
talking,
get on here. I need you to talk to me.
if that's what
I
he's
need
talking
you
about
to
with
talk.
the timeline. But I'm only going by the Gregorian calendar that I've grown up with.
But I mean, but at the same time, that goes back to showing you, if we was all this, soon as this Emancipation Proclamation came out, it would let you know we was already great. And that, I mean, we have done a podcast. They needed us to integrate into their system. In other words, they needed us to be citizens.
You know what? Here's the crazy thing. We were already citizens in our own land. You're talking about we were prisoners of war by this time. But the silly thing about the Emancipation Proclamation that didn't really, it never really meant anything, right? It's
Mhm.
because it's something that Lincoln wrote up or his people wrote up or whatever. But by that time, those that called themselves the South had already seceded. They had already left. So anything that the president
No,
of these
no,
few states that were
no.
left, it really didn't
Get
matter
my
to them
little
because they were a
popcorn
whole different country.
downstairs.
They had their own laws, their own rule, they had their own currency. So, people talk about Emancipation Proclamation, but I don't even know what that means. Yeah, you.
My bad, yo. My son talking to me.
Oh,
He
you
had a
good? You
baseball
good?
game. He got injured in his baseball game. I'm trying to give him the Mr. Miyagi thing. But so we had like Mr. Walther, we had the Indian Removal Act in 1820. We had mass immigration. Please pull up the national. Oh man, he gonna make me. Please pull up the 1890 National Act. Notice who the people. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right, go ahead, Jerome, because I'm about to see if I can pull it up.
All right. So we don't spent all over the place. So going back. Okay, let's go back to the 1800s. Like I said, it was all about uh, trying to get the population to swing a different way. That's the first rules of when you try to take over a nation. Uh, you definitely want to have the population that looks like the rulers in majority.
Yeah, hold up. I think I found something. I hope this is what you asked me to do. All right, Brian. How do we put?
Forgot how to split screen.
Stop it. Hold up,
Hit that.
man. Fuck it.
You got it?
No, I'm working on it. Leave me alone.
All right, all right.
Is it showing it?
No. Hold on, it's coming up. All right.
Is it showing the national exaction? Is this what he? Wait a minute. He said 18. Oh, wait a minute. I'm fucking on 1790. Let me go
No,
back.
it
Let me
said
go
it
back.
was. It said in 1870 it expanded the privilege to all blacks.
Yeah, but it's introducing race by limiting acquisitions of citizenship by naturalizations to free white people. All right, let's break this. Let's go into this one.
Yeah, but now I have to get out my Black's Law Dictionary of
Yeah,
legally what it
I
means
ain't
to
got
be
that.
free. Free white people doesn't mean skin color.
Mm, mm. All right, let me. I hope this because I can't get the split screen. I hope this is what he's talking about. If not, uh, oh,
You go and picture
oh,
and picture and
come
picture.
on, come on, get it together. I know. I'm trying to get.
See, you shouldn't have
My
fired your
mouse ain't
producer.
working. There we go.
You shouldn't have fired
Where's
your
my
producer.
producer?
Nah.
he talking about Ollie. I hope. All right, let me see. I think there's something else I can get. No, my computer acting slow. It's on that. It's on that BS again. No, because I want to see what he's talking about. Because I think if he put it up, that
Yeah,
means
and see,
it's unsafe.
that's what I'm saying. The Black's Law Dictionary tells you, skin color didn't have anything to do with being white. That's not what it was about. Because even certain types of European, they would not classify them as white people. That's in the Black's Law Dictionary. I have a few editions, but I got them on my other hard drive.
I don't know if it'll pull it up on here.
You got it?
Still looking. I'm
Oh,
still looking. No, I'm working on it. No, he threw a
so
curveball at me, and I'm trying to find out.
I got a good friend, a brother of mine. He he's darker than I am, but his on his license it says white. Yeah, it's white was like when I think it's the who is it? Is it our Moorish brothers? It's in the temple that always talks about uh, black means dead in the eyes of the law.
That is true. That's
Yeah,
where
well, I'm saying you
you
say that all the time, but like I said, that's because white meant something else. White means skin color.
white means power or
There you go with that power
prestige,
stuff,
prestige.
man.
Not power,
No,
prestige, or type of. It's like
it,
being a
it
noble and a peasant.
there you go. It's more on that sense. It's more on that sense because um, that's the structure that was brought over from Europe.
All right, let's see. Let me see if I got. Maybe I might got it.
And like I said, you got it.
My computer acting slow. Acting like it's full. You got the itis.
Yeah, you in the picture right now.
I'm working on it. Give me. Like you said, I fired the producer.
Yeah, you fired your producer. You got big. That's how y'all do when y'all get big.
No, my computer is running slow for some crazy reason. That's what I'm saying.
Nah, I'm
So the
just
mouse
messing.
is acting like it's no, because it's messing up. Come on, is it it? You got it?
Oh yeah, it's up now.
What you see?
Right
All right,
small.
huh? All right, I was told to go off camera.
It's huh?
The producer wants to come back and save me.
Oh, okay.
Hold up. Come
You had it
on,
up
man.
though.
This thing is getting. I know.
But anyway, cause we're gonna get too far away from the point of what we was talking about, V.
Go ahead. All right. Go ahead, because Mr. Waltho is throwing stuff out there. All right, because you got run that back. Skin color has nothing to do with this mess. Okay, all I see. Dude, I don't know what's up with this computer.
Yeah, I
Producer,
just
I need a new computer.
like I said, we talked about color didn't mean anything, you know, um, because you can't determine somebody's race by what color they are. Um, that's actually that's not even racism. That's colorism. Um, and
Uh oh.
colorism is
We got him. He's on. Mr. Walthrow.
What's going on, fellas?
Ah,
hey
what's
hey
going
what's
on?
up?
You throw the curveball at me and I can't get it. I can't get it. I'm sorry. I don't want to disappoint you.
What what you mean you can't get it?
I've been trying to figure out this Naturalization Act, and I don't notice who
The
the people.
1870 Nationalization Act. That's a kind of interesting piece of paper. But the interesting part about it is who is not classified as a free white person in 1870.
Who was that?
See,
Europeans.
that's the category that's really interesting. Hmm?
Okay.
I say Europeans.
You
I got to.
see Caucasians and you see Aryans.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm
I
looking,
do.
sir. I'm looking.
That means that these people that y'all call white folks who call themselves Caucasians ain't really who the hell they supposed to be no way.
Right.
Caucasians, Caucasians is black people.
Ooh. So it's been flipped in reverse.
Think about that. Caucasians is black people. And they left a mark in Russia with the hats that the Russians wear in their military.
Mm. Uh-oh, it's about to get deep.
But the 1870 Nationalization Act, which is actually 5 years after the Civil War, which was supposed to have ended slavery, calls them not free white people. Now, if you are not free, how are you going to be superior to me? Which means white superiority is a myth that these people use to drum up some fear in somebody that generates some kind of cash flow for them.
Right.
It kind of makes sense.
Nobody's superior. Nobody's superior to me in my mind. My little brother, before he passed, he hit me with some of the coolest logic I ever heard in my life because he told me in my dreams I always win.
Right. Right.
You got to think about that mindset, man. If you can't win inside yourself, how you gonna win on the outside in this world?
You can't.
Then you also got to accept the fact that you working in a system that is completely antithetical to the system that is actually in your DNA, in your body, in your culture, in your history. You're not living that. You tell me about wealth, I'm asking you, where's your wealth?
Right.
What is it, what concept, and who gave you the concept of what wealth is?
It's
Your
interesting.
so-called white folks, they came over here in bondage,
Right.
and they wasn't the upper class of Europe. So they wouldn't have no concept of nothing that looks like generational wealth.
I mean,
They
you
didn't
could.
have no school, so most of those people was illiterate. We got to have a conversation in here in a minute.
Mm.
Right.
I'm listening. I'm ready.
You see what I'm saying?
That's why the
Because
Southern dialect.
those people were completely illiterate when they got here. They was digging up graves and eating dead folks to try to survive when they got here. They didn't know how to do nothing when they got here. They don't have no way to fall back on no generational wealth because they don't have generational wealth in their damn history. But we accepted their concept of what wealth was, and we forgot about what our concept of what wealth was. And when we did that, we made a mistake. And it's that mistake that you see now, is that mistake that they use to play on you and all these little 50 million mind games they try to put you through in the course of a day.
Right.
Mm.
See, eventually we're going to sit down and have a conversation with ourselves because what we lost, they didn't take it. Don't make that mistake. You can't take what's inside of me.
Right.
There's a reason why I can't come to your house and tell you your grandma ain't shit and expect to live.
Oh yeah.
There's a reason for that shit.
Right.
Mm.
See? That shit is built into us so deep that we can't get out of it. That's universal all the way across these planes, man.
Mm-hmm.
But see, that's your yesterday calling back to your today, hoping that you'll remember what you forgot. See, your family was your wealth because your land is where you were standing, and there wasn't no questions about that.
Right.
I don't have to have a deed to this property. This ain't my property, dude. This is just where I'm at. Now you go over there to where you at and we cool.
Staff might
Then when
want
I get tired of being here, I'm gonna go over there. When you get tired of going over there, you gonna come over here. It is not that damn hard. But we forgot.
to.
The school system helped us forget. All these different ideologies that you run into in the course of your day, all this was designed to help you forget. You kill the enemy and you save the man.
Right.
See? But there's a group of people in this country that you never hear nothing about. Never. Now, that's the group of people that's running this shit. That's the group of people who have always ran this.
And who is that?
Them is the people. You figure that out. I know, but I want you to learn. Because what I tell you is the truth. See, because you gotta get this into your understanding. Now I can sit here and tell you stuff all day long, but sometimes you just gotta get it into your understanding. Just do a little researching. They still here, baby. And they still working. And you still never hear anything about these people. You don't hear about them on the news. You don't hear about them on the radio. You don't read about them in the newspapers. It's like these people do not exist. And in a way they don't, because they got damn good camouflage.
All right, Jerome.
See, we run around here chasing these straw men all the damn time. We ain't gonna get nowhere.
Right.
You can't keep playing with these little sing songs that they tell you to tickle your ear. It's supposed to generate some kind of emotional response one way or the other out of you. No, you can't do that. You got to be smarter. You got to think about this shit. This shit is simple, but you got to stop and think about it. They'll walk your ass right to hell if you don't watch them. Singing you a song on the way while you're there. No, baby. We forgot something, man. I'm telling you, we forgot something.
So is it?
Something is trying to get out right now.
So is emotion something that we need to control and understand?
Well, yes. But there shouldn't be no part of you that you don't control and understand. You got the most powerful computer on the planet. They'll spend another 1,000 years trying to figure out how you can come up with 3 thoughts in a row. But we don't use what we got. They even have these bullshit scientific studies that say we only use 10% of our brain. So using their logic, that's 90% of our thinking capacity that we ain't even touched. Why? See, we're not stupid. They make you think we're stupid, but we're not stupid. We're very, very, very intelligent people.
Right.
And each and every time that we've been allowed to stand on our own, we have shown everybody on the planet that we can do exactly what we intend to do.
Right.
They just get mad and want to burn it down because they was like you can't show that you're. It's kind of like showing that excellence within ourselves. So the fact is, I need to put you back in your place. That I feel like you need to be back.
But see now, the thing is, the person who was trying, as you say, to put you back in your place is taking orders from somebody else who's trying to put both of y'all back in your place. Because if one got a place, then the other got a place too. Now, if both of these got a place, who's the one that's running this?
That's the twist.
So who's the real puppet master?
See, this is this hand that you ate. Yes, but he only has to play one puppet, and it ain't you.
Mm.
Right. Because it's done to you.
Exactly. But it ain't you that's trying to keep you in your place. It's just the person trying to keep you in your place is working through their agents and representatives who happen not to look like you. So these two keep at each other's throats continuously, and this other group just sits back and just watches the whole damn game play out into their advantage. While
Hmm.
you down here shadow boxing with ghosts that can't really do you no harm, all y'all can do is harm each other. But you keep occupied with this nonsense, and then you don't never see who's actually controlling the board. But see, we can't afford to have both of them two factions come together, because if them both two factions come together, then the only thing left on the board is the one that's doing the controlling. One of these days, we're gonna have to have a conversation.
True.
I don't know what to say,
Oh,
man. You got me speechless
the
right now.
only, the only people, listen, the only people on this planet that's had to fight to be free is us.
Right.
We the only ones that know how to do it. And every time you take a breath, you prove it. None of them can be free without us. They don't know how. Their history does not contain that concept in it.
Yeah.
To them, freedom was just for a certain group of people.
I
But
wish
we
we.
were free, huh?
I just wish we understand that the world revolves around it. It moves to our heartbeat and not
Yeah.
everybody else's heartbeat. And this when we that's where understanding who you are as a person, as a people, the respect that you have for this particular landmass that we live on, we will treat it better. But since we don't understand who we are, we always gonna walk around like savages.
We're not savages.
I mean, no, I
That's
say
not.
walk around like
It's
savages.
it's not even it's not even savagery. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because you had an organizational setup that we don't use anymore that prevented a lot of conflicts that you see today. Some of these conflicts, you really don't know who the conflicting parties is,
True.
because you've been hunted for 400 years or 500 years, 600 years. Yeah, they've been hunting you for 600 years.
Mm.
They've always hunted you. They always tried to kill the men folk. They just couldn't figure out a way to kill them fast enough, so they opened up prisons, and then they turned up with this new agenda they got going on.
Mm.
It's the same warfare that they pulled when they first got here. When they got here, they come on the shore. They killed all the men they could,
Right.
and then took the women and the children. Now, you walk outside your door and tell me you don't see that same shit going on right now.
True.
They certainly trying to take the children.
Yeah, but you take the strength out of the
This
home.
is this is all the same history being repeated, repeated, repeated. Every 200 years, they run this game back.
Mm.
So that's all they got is this one game. and now they done ran it all the way to the end.
Right.
So
This is 2022. This is 200 years after Indian removal. It's time for stuff to get a little shaky.
No, you're turning it on.
so where
But
do
you
we
go
go from
back
here?
and you watch. Where did the history books go from there? Then you get a little small scale skirmishes and migrations. Eventually, it's going to end up with another removal, and it's going to end up with another civil war. You only got one book, man. You only got one book. They got one play, and they run it over and over and over again. The beauty of it is it's a solid play.
Right.
And if we don't catch up with what's going on now, it's going to be another 200 years before anybody get a chance to take a shot at this again.
So you think the time is now?
The time has to be now. They work on a schedule. They got a 200-year schedule. They got a 100-year schedule. And then they got a 50-year schedule. And sometimes they are trying to throw you off with a 75-year schedule, but that don't come around too damn often. But we own that 200-year schedule. This is Indian removal. This is the start of Indian removal.
I never even paid no
Now,
attention.
if you go back in Alabama history in 1823 for the Creek people, they was being driven off their land, and basically they had to go through a starving season or two. Well, they had them down to eating berries and roots and bark off trees.
Mm.
Then they come to them and say, hey, oh, and another thing, they could shoot them on sight if they caught them off the reservation.
So I put him in a prison.
Leave out them projects and see what happens.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what a reservation is.
Exactly.
There is no other way for that. That's a medium security prison.
Cool.
Because you still got guards.
This is deep. This is
You got
really
invisible. You got invisible fences and all of that shit, man. And then they put up the best invisible fence of them all because they put it in your mind.
that
When you
fear.
started going to their schools and they started teaching you their version of history.
Ooh.
And then you come out of school and you go out into the real world and you got somebody look like you standing right next to you, you talk to every day, and he got a whole nother version of history himself. Then you go on down the line a little further, you run into somebody else. Y'all sit there talking for a few minutes, you realize they got a whole new version of history for themselves. By the time you go through all these changes and these mind games, you done forgot about your history, or you done confused it with some of their shit and some of their shit and some of their shit till it's all tangled up, and you don't know which shit is what shit.
Mm.
See, this is when you really want to start trying to have a conversation.
I think people are scared to have this
Then
conversation.
you got to talk. And then you got to think. Huh?
I think people are scared to have this
You was
conversation.
breaking up on me.
As people are scared to have this conversation. They're so comfortable and they're so comfortable in the condition that they're in right now.
Well, yeah, and that's a problem. That's a problem. And I don't know what's going to be the cure of it. But doing Indian removal, you kind of seen the same thing popping up then too. Because what you got coming up I guess in a way it's already happened. There's another reclassification. Obama did a little reclassification of his own with this African American nonsense and the genocide of the Negroes.
Mm.
So they just wrote the Negroes out of existence and substituted African American. See, reclassification is going on now too. So everything that was happening then, doing Indian removal, you see happening right now.
Okay.
And the stuff it was happening to, the people it was happening to then, it's the same people it's happening to now because that policy has never been overturned.
Man, you got me thinking. Like,
Nobody said nobody said Indian removal was over when they moved the 5 tribes in the Indian Territory and was now Oklahoma.
Right.
Because they took their bus right out west and moved all 34 of the tribes into Oklahoma also.
Right.
So Indian removal is not a thing that just happened at one particular point in time to one particular group of people because it's still going on now and the people are the same.
mm-hmm.
No other group has been under such a prolonged attack as the American Indian.
The only problem is we just don't admit that we're the American Indians.
No, because television, programming,
Uh-huh.
programming and television are two separate but the same damn things. That TV only shows you certain images. Media only gives you certain images, but they don't never give you the complete images. They don't show you nothing about Indians in the South and the Southeast and up along that eastern seaboard on TV in much of any kind of fashion.
Right.
See, now they'll show you the ones out there in the desert fighting the cavalry,
Ooh.
then the ones everybody accepts. But if you go back to the 1828 Webster's Dictionary and start dealing with this copper-colored races, then
Right.
you will understand that the end of the word race is a S. It means more than one.
Right.
Those are another group of Indians, the ones on the other side of the Mississippi. We may have mixed and mingled right there along that line, but we're not the same people.
Ooh. All right, Mr.
They
Waco.
remember one. Yes, sir.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead and finish your last comment. Go ahead.
I was gonna say they remember one and forgot about the other. Nah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say we kind of went over our time for the day. And you getting deep and deep and deep, and it's kind of like I don't want to stop. And it's like, but we really we got to get you on from the beginning so we can just run this through. Because you jump in here in this last 30 minutes and you coming in like Jordan trying to end the game out.
Yeah, I ain't trying to. It's all good, man. I'll catch up with y'all one day. That's for sure.
We definitely got to send you an invite so we can get you for a whole
Yeah.
show.
No doubt.
Because you drop knowledge. You be dropping some stuff, and I can't. I'm sitting in my mind thinking like, did he just say what I thought he just said? Because it makes you. But what it gets it makes you challenge yourself to go find out. Because
Right.
again, you throw it out there. I want to know if he's telling the truth, and
Right.
and that's what it does. It makes you search, and then you start finding other things about yourself, or start finding other things about your people that you just never knew. So
True.
But I appreciate
So
you. I
that's what it's
appreciate the knowledge
supposed to
that you
do.
do drop. I appreciate you just giving us your time and energy. Thank you.
Right.
It's all good. I mean, I appreciate y'all. Let me come in and holler at you like that. I try to catch y'all up whenever I can. I be running sometimes and I kind of miss out. When I get a chance, yeah, I sit down and holler at you. I ain't got no problem with that, man. I kind of enjoy it.
So we're gonna have to sign off on this one, but we do greatly appreciate your time and your comments. You,
Oh
you're gonna
yeah.
make me go back. I'm going back and study this 1870 nationalization law.
Go back, go back and find you a picture of a Caucasian made about 1870, 1890, 1880, or year 1900, maybe all the way up to 1910. You ain't gonna see what you think you're gonna see.
Challenge.
Matter of fact, no, I'll tell you what, I can do you one better than that, Jerome, because you on
Right.
my messenger list. I can send you that picture.
Send it to me.
That's what I can do.
Yeah.
I can send you that picture because I got that picture on my phone. I just got to dig through my collection and pull it up again. It ain't no problem. I'll send it to
Okay.
you.
Say no more. Yeah.
All right, that's what's up, y'all. I'm going to holler peace and get on out of here.
All
Y'all do
right.
what you
Peace,
got to
brother.
do.
All
Peace,
right,
brother.
All right, peace, peace.
Thank you.
All right, Jerome. Let's sign off, man. Hell, I love this homework you give us. I appreciate it. But
Yeah.
let me get my last words is understand who you are. Understand what stock you from. Believe in that stock that you from and not understand it because the ancestors are always talking to you. They're always trying to get you to lock in and be a part of what we are as a people. Um, thanks everyone. Like, share, tell a friend. I mean, wow, powerful. Man, I don't know. End it off, Jerome, man. I don't know what to say, man.
I mean, there ain't too much to say. That's the whole point of having a conversation is to create thought, to create conversation, to create something, to go research. That's the whole point of what we do. And so that was poignant the way he came in and just dropped bombs. so we'll tighten it up and we'll try to answer some of these questions when we come back. Other than
Nice.
that, man, peace, love.
Three-headed monster.
You know how we do.